game with a series of guest commentators all sort of aligned with the University Cricket Club. And joining me for the first stint is University Braden Fernandez. So welcome, Braden.
Thanks for having me, Will Stibbs.
Yeah, excellent. Braden is a player, currently played in the second grade fixture yesterday and got yourself some runs yesterday.
Yeah, managed to score a few. It was, boys play well. It's good to get a victory. The one-day reign continues for the UCC second team, which is really good knocks from Benji Melville. Big shout out to him. And Damo Sweet in classical Damo Sweet style, going at a good click and performing really well for us. I was really happy for him. Fantastic.
So we're straight into action today, and opening the bowling for University is Josh Dallymore. And he bowls the first ball to Nick Marlowe, who lets it through to the keeper. Nick Marlowe, who's opening the batting for Wanneroo, has played Premier Cricket for a number of clubs, but he was at University for about 3 or 4 years, going back about 4 or 5 years ago, and so very familiar to the University side as Nick Marlowe, and very strong player off his legs, and very sort of complete game. He can score 360 degrees around the wicket, so be a real key wicket for the University here today.
That's a good delivery, that one. Just going up and past his gloves there. I just want to make note of Kane Pearce, who's at the other end. He had a good season last year with 5 innings averaging 40.2. He's obviously a good batsman, and let's see what he can do today against UCC's lineup.
Well, I believe he was in the Colts game earlier and played a good innings in the Colts game, where University were defeated by their Wanneroo opposition today. So the seniors are looking to make the win where the Colts couldn't get it this morning.
Playing a miss there. Big shout. Not given. You are correct. Kane Pearce 60 off 38 in the Colts game. That's a great knock and a good chase for them.
I reckon he put a few over the boundary, not just past the boundary. I think he put a few over. I think he hit 4 or 5 sixes in his innings this morning. So he's a player in form as he strides to the crease this afternoon. So a couple of play misses early here. The wicket was rain affected yesterday, and unfortunately in the first grade game we couldn't get on due to some seepage underneath the covers from the overnight rain here at James Oval. So pretty lively pitch here today, and that's showing up in those first couple of balls.
What do you think of the deep backward point here, Stibber?
Well, it's always interesting in T20. Your field is generally set for a certain type of ball. Now, the field that's set is, you wouldn't think it's going to be too full. It's going to be a short ball, I would think. So the bowler will be wanting the batsman to either play a cut shot or a pull shot. So I think that's what it's set for. But then often in these circumstances, you can also play the double bluff where your field is dictating a certain type of ball, but you go with another ball just to trick them. But I think from what you've seen these first few balls is Josh Dallymore was sort of trying to take advantage of a bit of life in the pitch, and that sort of a short of a good length is what he's sort of shooting for at the moment.
He does exactly that delivery. He hasn't missed.
It's like I've spent a few years calling cricket.
You should do commentary, Stibber.
So, Josh, it's a beautiful day here at James Oval. It's about 23 degrees here this afternoon. There's a few clouds passing by, but the rain over the last couple of days has now dissipated. Josh is bowling from what we would call the chemistry building end, which is the southern end here at James Oval. And the chemistry building, it's built for purpose. It's not the most exciting building ever built, but very functional. And lots of students have come and gone through that building.
There's the deep backward point we we're just talking about in the game there.
Yeah, so that would be exactly what the type of shot that Josh would be setting the batsman up to play off his bowling. So I think that's one run off the first.
Great start there. Great start from Josh Dallymore and the UCC boys. Nick Marlowe just getting set, getting a bit of feel of the pitch. As mentioned before, a bit of rain affected, so the pace of the wicket might be slightly different.
So, Braden, part of today is to advertise university and give some time to our sponsors. And this live stream and presentation is brought to you by Chatfield, the Chatfield Group, who are one of WA's, well, if not WA's leading mortgage broker. And James Chatfield is a great supporter of University Cricket Club. He's often down here watching the first grade. I'm sure he'll put his head in this afternoon if he's not here already. So if you're looking for a home loan, Braden, in Chatfield. The future, you got to give James Chatfield and the group Chatfield Group a ring. But what we also like to do on these days is talk about people's experience at University Cricket Club. And Mitch Drennan's about to bowl to Kane Pearce. So, Braden, how did you come to be part of University Cricket Club?
So, I did a lot of my juniors at Midland Guildford and then moved to Mount Lawley for some of my senior cricket. And then I met the amazing Vivian Paver, who's one of UCC's greats and now is a Hall of Famer. Is that a life member?
Life member.
He's an incredible player and more about him, an incredible person. And if there's more people like Viv Paver at this cricket club, I want to see what it's about. And I've come across and listen to the ball. Dreno comes in. Kane Pearce takes it on. Not much from it. Another dot ball. But as I was saying, I came across and met incredible people like yourself, Stibber, and just saw how well the club was run professionally. But it's a training culture for me. If I come here, we have 5 player coaches of professional standard in the form of Chris Saberg, Will Bazisto, Viv Paver, as I mentioned, Tom Murray, an up-and-coming gun. All these players around this training environment of good people and good training culture and cricketers, this is where you want to be. Just plays a backward defence to deep backward point, and they get Kane Pearce is off the mark.
So you're a young cricketer. How old are you now?
22 in a couple of weeks.
And in your first season, you played in a Colts Premiership for university side. So you've been with us sort of about 18 months now. You know, what have you learnt about your game in the last 18 months?
What I've learnt about my game, coming from a club that like Mount Lawley, where you get pushed ahead with opportunity because it's a young team.
Yep.
You can get away with hitting 20s or 30s, and you can keep your position. Whereas here, I find if you want to go up in grades, you need to be banging down the door with runs like 50s, 100s to get a shot, which I think forces you to not be okay with hitting a 30 or not be. He runs in, short ball, just hooked around the corner, deep backward square. Klaus Lotto will pick this up. Good throw in over the top. Dreno's bowling well here, just into the deck. Same plan as Dallymore, but as I was saying, this club forces you to be a better player and drive the standards of what winning culture looks like. So in my playing ability, you have to train harder. You have to demand more when you're out in the middle compared to what I was allowed to 2 years ago. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. Mitch Drennan into Kane Pearce, and that is a nice cover drive, and that's going to be the first boundary of the afternoon, so well played.
There's that double bluff you were talking about there, Stibber.
Yeah, the field
is
definitely set for a sort of a shortish ball, and that was just a little bit too full and nicely put away. Now I'm going to say that was actually Nick Marlowe who hit that, not Kane Pearce. They're both in long sleeves and red helmets, and it's actually quite hard to read their. If you can see it on screen, you might be able to see their playing numbers, but from sitting on the side of the boundary, it's very hard to read the black against the grey on the shirt. So. Quite easy to read the yellow of the university side numbers, but the red ones are a little bit hard from a distance.
Big swing and a miss there.
So that is now the second over the power play. So in this format, we play 4 overs of what's called a power play. So in that time, you're only allowed 2 players to field outside what's called the inner ring. So in the last 2 overs, those 2 fielders, one has been at deep point and one has been at sort of deep square leg, which looks to be the same field they're setting as Josh Dallymore commences the 3rd over. 2 overs in, the score is none for 7 off 2 overs. And it's an interesting sort of part of the game, the power play. It used to be 6 overs off at the top, but now it's 4 overs, and then after 10 overs, the batting team can elect to take a power surge, which is 2 overs at the time of their choosing from the overs 10 to 20. And that is a cover drive, sort of lofted cover drive. How would you describe that shot?
I think that was a bit of a half chance there. Threw a shot a bit early. The strategy of going a little bit shorter into the wicket there, almost coming off, with the batter getting through a shot and almost evoking a run out on the 2 as well. Will Bazista with some good fielding there, but the Wanneroo batsmen just get home there. I have a question for you, Stibber.
Yep.
You were obviously involved with a club championship as head coach last year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously incredible for the club. What do you attribute to a success like that, of what we did right to achieve something like that?
That's a multi-layered question. Oh, and the ball's in the air. This looks like me the first wicket. Yes, caught.
Yes. Great bowling there.
That is Kane Pearce, who's been dismissed by Josh Dullymore. The exact length that we've been talking about, just short of a good length. He's tried to put that over the top of mid-off, and he's put it straight up, as we would say, straight up the chimney. And he's been caught at mid-off very comfortably by Tom Murray, who, if you're going to have a person stand under a catch, Tom Murray's your guy, because he doesn't drop many.
He sure is.
What is the success of university in the last few years? Well, I think it's about people, Fern, if I'm to be really honest. I think we've managed to put together a playing list and a coaching group and a committee that are just so passionate about university and so committed to what we would call a growth mindset, where everyone is trying to get better and everyone is supporting each other in that growth journey. That I think that has sort of got to the point where when you have so many good people, so much talent, and then you're all sort of unified of purpose, and I think unity of purpose is essential in any high performance environment. Good things happen, and you know, I was actually chatting to someone this morning about the club championships and how many times during the course of the year there were sort of moments that if we didn't get a wicket on that ball, we wouldn't have won that game, which would have led to us not winning the club championship. Just so many little moments across the course of a season. But I think when you have that unity of purpose, you tend to have those moments. Like I think back to Jade Chislett's wrong'un that got us the final wicket at Perth, that sort of sealed the deal for us in the club championship. That when Perth only John Curtis was the other end, and they only needed 8 runs to win. Like that, if they get that 8 runs, Perth win the club championships. You know, it's a key moment. But it was just that sort of desire by everyone to achieve something that the club hadn't done for since 1968, and it's great credit to everyone. Great credit to everyone, I think. So,
great credit to you as well, Stibber.
Well, if you stay somewhere long enough, eventually something will happen.
And that's another opportunity. Another driving chance there. Dullymore picks up a second one. It's caught it. I'd call him a short third man, almost a deep gully. Who got his mitts under that one? Was that Dreno underneath that one?
No, I don't think it was Dreno. I think it was... Was it Chris Sabek? I'm not sure.
We'll shortly find out.
Yeah.
But that is Milo. Out for 6. He's a dangerous wicket, and I'm sure UCC will be happy to see the back of him walking off. But once again, as we've been preaching about, it's that back of a length delivery that evokes a false drive that gets a splice hit and caught. It's well bowled.
So, university, we were all about learning, Fern, and you're still studying or finished your degree?
One more year.
One more year.
One more year. There's always one more year. yes, I'm still studying.
And just to let our viewers out there know what you're studying, what are you studying?
I'm studying a secondary drama degree, so it's quite a combination, being a cricketer while also loving the drama and the arts. But yeah, my second passion is teaching, and I really enjoy drama, so I thought I might combine the two, and yeah, loved it. I'm studying at ECU at the moment, so not good enough to be at UWA, but I do enjoy it at ECU.
So, what does that entail? Do you do acting courses? Let's sort of inform the listeners about what a drama degree entails.
Yeah, so it's first and foremost, it's a teaching degree. Just Josh Dullymore just running into bowlers' deliveries quickly. First ball clipped off the pads. And Stumpers.
Your Hayden Stumpers.
Hayden Stumpers off the mark. Nice and easy. But yeah, first of all, it's a teaching degree. So you do 2 units. So out of the 4 units, 2 of them are dedicated to teaching. And then you have a major and you have a minor. 1 unit's dedicated to your major, 1 unit dedicated to your minor. But that the numbers vary throughout your degree. You might have 2 drama units. One, I do PE as a minor, so 1 PE. But first and foremost, it's a teaching degree. So a little bit of acting, but not too much.
And the goal to when you finish?
Short ball there. It's another chance.
Yes, and that looks like another wicket. So 3 wickets and an over to Josh Jallymore. What a fantastic over for University. That has really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons in the Wanneroo batting order. So that is the new keeper. So on debut in the T20 format is Alex Davies, who is one of University's overseas players this year. And Alex is the current captain of Warwickshire County Cricket Club in England, and he's over for, well, not the full summer, just probably just till Christmas, and he's here on debut today with University. So he's got his first catch, and he'll be very happy.
First of many, I'm sure.
Very happy. So a very productive over for University there. 3 for 11. And all 3 wickets falling that over. So
just that height. How tall do you reckon Josh Jallymore is?
I know the answer to this. He is 6'5".
6'5".
Yeah.
So that height with the new ball, with a softish wicket, no wonder why he's running amok. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he'll be enjoying his spell.
But that's we exit the power play. Is that?
No, one more over, so it's 4 overs in the power play, and that's the
3
third over. So
1 over to go.
At the end of 3 overs, Wanneroo are 3 for 11.
3 for 11.
And we're going to see a change in pace. So Will Basisto swinging the changes early. He's had Mitch Drennan bowl the first over from the Reed Library end, which is the northern end here at James Oval. But now Will Basisto will be bowling the final over the power play, and
the ghost of the Himalayas.
The ghost of the Himalayas. Now, for those Will Basisto fans out there, let's keep you informed as to what he's doing in his cricketing journey at the moment. So this week he's back and playing for University. He arrived back and he bowls his first ball to Hayden Stumpers. He arrived back about 10 days ago from a T10 tournament in Dallas in Texas, and he played for the Houston Generals and was one of the leading batsmen in that tournament. He's now here for a couple of weeks back with University before he flies out in about 10 days' time to go play for Australia in the Hong Kong Sixers. And then if you're on Instagram and you follow Will Basisto, you would have seen this week that and he bowls his second ball to Hayden Stumpers, flicked a fine leg for a couple of runs. If you're on Instagram and you follow Will Basisto, you would have seen this week that it's confirmed that he is now signed re-signed for the Kanali Yaks in the Nepal Premier League. So he's off to play some T20 in Nepal. So busy little schedule coming up for Will Basisto and fans of Will Basisto who watch him play all around the planet these days.
Recent father as well, of a couple of months.
Yeah, well, I don't think young Albert is on tour with him just yet, but knowing Will, it won't be long.
Yeah. Can't imagine the throwdowns in that house.
Basisto in, and Slattery, who's the new batsman, cuts it straight to point past a lot of fields.
Speaking of Alex Davies just before with his catch, where do you find players like that? He's a friend of Corey Roccaccioli, I believe.
Yeah. Well, recruiting is something as a director of cricket head coach that is on your mind 24/7, 365. There's never. I have a saying: always be recruiting. So there's always you're always talking and listening, and you'll hear things, and someone will say, "Oh, that person's interested," or "I think this player might be good fit," and my philosophy is if you work hard in life and you chase down all those leads, eventually one of those leads will end up in a player that's useful to you, and very much the case in this instance. Oh, and that's a wicket.
Another catch to Alex Davies. Well bowled by Will Bazisto, drawing him forward. Believe that's taken an outside edge.
And that is Mitch Slattery just missed. So Wanneroo in all sorts of trouble now. This is not the start they would have been hoping for. So after the power play, the initial power play that we've spoken about, Wanneroo are 4 for 14, which is not the type of score they would have been looking for.
Definitely not. Good bowling from UCC and good catching and good wicket keeping. So UCC have earned this, but yes, Wanneroo, a lot to be desired.
Alex Davies, how did he get to university? Well, Corey Rocacholi went to Warwickshire on a 4-match stint in county cricket this year and did very well. In those 4 matches, he took almost 20 wickets. Corey being Corey he's a very gregarious character. He makes a lot of friends wherever he goes, and he's so passionate about cricket, and he's so passionate about university cricket and Western Australian cricket that he's a walking advertisement. And Alex was interested in coming out for the first half of the summer, and it just so happened that James Bracey, our regular overseas pro for the last few years, has him and his lovely partner Talia are getting married. I think it's this weekend, and so James will be back with us in a few weeks' time, but it meant we wouldn't have a pro till round 7, so Corey pitched me the idea of getting Alex out here, and we had a number of a significant number of conversations with Alex and then his agent, and just to make sure that we could get a visa in time, and that we could provide sort of an experience for Alex that he was after, and after all the discussions, we all came to the conclusion it would be a great opportunity for the University Cricket Club to have such a prominent county player out here, and here he is. It's an absolute pleasure to have him, and we're all really excited to see him in the baggy blue, as we say.
Very true. He's off to a good start so far. Just speaking about the game, moving out of the power play, Chris Saberg has come on to bowl, right arm off spin. Good idea to the left-hander as well, and Chris Saberg, I reckon, is one of the smarter cricketers I've come across. So I reckon what makes his bowling so good is how much control he has over his off-spin and the field settings he sets. He's a very wise cricketer. He's been around for quite a while. Played with which BBL team was he with?
I was with the Brisbane Heat in one of the early, I think it was the first or the second, BBL 1 or 2, and they won it. And then he went, back then the winners of the BBL would go play Champions League. And so he went and played Champions League against the other T20 franchises from around the world, and I think they won that too. So he's
the world champion.
He's a world champion. A nice sort of drive by Marlborough there to mid-off for a single.
Get off the mark.
Now, I'm very good at knowing grade cricketers' surnames, but I'm not so good on Christian names. Is it Braden Marlborough?
Oh, Bradley
Marlborough.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a wicket.
Stumpers has to go.
Stumpers has to go. So the bowling change has worked. He looks like his captain's intuition is paying off in spades today for Will Bazisto. Another bowling change and another wicket. So what do we? That's the completion of the over 2. So that's 2 runs off the over and a wicket. So 1 for 2. So that'll be 5 for 16. So not a great start at all for Wanneroo. And
what advice would you be telling this batsman about to head out to the crease? Walking to the crease, 5 for 16 against the runner-ups of the Premier T20 comp last year at their own home ground. what would you be telling him?
I'd be saying what a great opportunity to play against one of the better teams in the competition and the better players in the competition, and to if he's a young player, and I think who is walking to the crease now, do we know? Again, I see that he's wearing number 32, but I can't read the name. We'll have it for you in a second.
I think it's Dion Billington.
Oh, Dion Billington. Well, Dion's been around in grade cricket for a few years now, but he's still a very young player. I would be saying to him, look, you've got 15 overs to bat against one of the better T20 sides in the state. Take your time and see how many runs you can make.
100%.
You know, it's if you're batting number 7 in a T20 side, it's not often you get to walk out with 15 overs to go. So I think it's a great opportunity for young players to show what they're made of. So this is where reputations are earned.
Exactly. And speaking of young players, here's one of UCC's own. We have Josh Vernon coming on from the library end. Josh Vernon's got to be one of the quicker bowlers going around for his age. Definitely one of UCC's finest.
Now, he is studying at the University of WA. He's studying sports science, and he's also playing, well, a week or two ago, he was playing for the WA second 11 and did quite well at the WACA. So he's one of our sort of what we would call high-performance athletes at University of Western Australia. And he's on the elite athlete program at UWA Sports. So when he has exams, if he has clashes with the cricket and exams, the university is very kind in terms of helping him perhaps move that exam to cater for the needs of his sport, which if you're on the elite athlete program, that can be very, very helpful at times. I know Corey Roccaccioli has taken great advantage of that over many years. And speaking of Corey Roccaccioli, he was here with us yesterday for the washed out 50 over game, but unable to play today because he's playing for Western Australia in the upcoming Shield game on Tuesday. Very, very interesting time for Corey Roccaccioli, because in the Sunday Times today there was a big article that should Nathan Lyon be injured, Kerry O'Keefe has said that he wants rock in.
Rock in?
Yeah, so...
Let's see what George Bailey thinks. I think Kerry O'Keefe is... what was it? Yeah, Kerry O'Keefe? That's the one?
Yeah, Kerry O'Keefe.
Yeah. I don't think he's on the selection panel, so... Got a good comedy set-up routine, but... I do hope Corey does get picked. All the UCC boys are vouching and cheering for him. Hopefully he gets that opportunity.
Are you excited about the Ashes coming up, Finn?
We could have another chance here.
Oh,
Mine's tracking back.
No, that's going to be out. Yeah.
Another simple catch for Tom Murray. Josh Vernon, short ball, and he's bumped out Bradley Mulborough. And the unfortunate run continues for Wanneroo. They slump again to 6 for 19.
Well, it's Past Players Day here today, and we've got a lot of sponsors and past players popping down to partake in a barbecue. But the barbecue's barely fired up at the moment. We were expecting the game to go for 3 hours, but if this continues, it could be over onto the barbecue very shortly, Brad.
We've trusted Chili Farmer with it, which is probably our first mistake. But we give opportunities here at UCC for greatness, and UCC has trusted Chili Farmer with the barbecue.
Well, what's scaring me a bit more is Chili Farmer, who plays in our seconds and third grade, tall fast bowler. He has now delegated. He was instructed to run the barbecue. He has now delegated it to one of our young overseas players, Harry Hodges. Now, I don't know if Harry Hodges has got much barbecue experience, and there's a look of bewilderment on his face as he holds the tongs over there. We could be in a bit of trouble this afternoon. Back to the cricket. Josh Vernon bowling to the new batsman.
Josh Vernon, vice-captain of our Colts team as well, so got a bowl this morning.
I tell you what, his first couple of overs in the Colts shots were absolutely rapid. It's some of the faster bowling I've seen for a long time. Unfortunately, didn't translate into a win for the University Colts, but it was very aggressive speed.
Hopefully they can come back in a couple of weeks' time against Willerton at Holler Heath to book a place in the quarterfinals. You were mentioning just before the upcoming Ashes.
Yeah, are you excited as a cricket man? Are you excited about the summer?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. I haven't told my work yet, but I'm hoping to get a day off on Monday or Tuesday to go to 4th day, 5th day. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, really excited. I'm looking forward to the Ponds coming out here and getting belted like they always do. And yeah, just then Scotty Boland just walk away with 40 wickets for the series is my prediction. And
there's a lot of people very bullish about Scotty Boland this summer.
Yes. Strays down leg there, Josh Vernon. What's your prediction score?
I think England are going to win some tests. I don't think that it's going to be all in Australia's favour. I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit, and I think it's going to come down to what bowlers can stay fit. Now, if Archer and Wood can play, I don't think there's any chance that both of them, with the speeds they bowl, play all 5 tests. I think the chances of them playing all 5 tests and going uninjured are not high. So, if they could get 4 tests out of those 2, I think the Australian batsmen are going to really struggle with that sort of quality of pace bowling, like they did against Bumrah. I thought Bumrah exposed some of the techniques of the Australian top order and made them feel very uncomfortable. And I think Wood and Archer had the capability of doing that as well. So, the caveat is if they stay fit. Now, if they stay fit, I reckon it's going to be a 2-2 or a 3-2. I think it'll either be a draw of 2-2 or a 3-2 win to Australia. If they don't stay fit, that's when I think you see the series start to blow out, because the English spinners are serviceable if you're being polite. They're not great.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah,
come out to Australia with no spinners.
Yeah, I think the idea that Will Jacks is your second spinner. He's former university player, and he's great.
Must be a good person.
Second spinner in terms of, and a great white ball spinner. But is he capable of?
Speaking of white ball spinners,
being a lead off spinner in a test match, I think that's very much unproven.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of white ball spinners, we have Jay Chislett on. That bit unlike the game right now, has a tough start. He's hit for a boundary first ball through backward point with a good slap cover drive.
I like that description, slap cover drive. Well done. Okay.
Very hockey-like. Goes again, gets an under edge. My take, Jay Chislett, best spinner in first grade cricket. I may be a little bit biased, but you talk about at this level and with his record, was UCC's champion player last year, if I'm correct?
Yep.
Took us to many finals. Good chase by Chris Saberg down at third man. It's a late dab by the Wanneroo batsman there. I'm still yet to figure out how to pick Jay Chislett's wrong'un. Someone knows, please let me know. Could see a bit of a counter punch here from Wanneroo. Take on a bit of spin.
I tell you what, if you're watching at home, what a fantastic image we're being supplied this afternoon. Look at the quality of that image as we've got it up on the computer in front of us. You feel like you're in the play. I feel like I'm standing at mid-off with that view. You don't get a better view in cricket, I reckon. Look at that.
That is very good. Who's the one helping supply that for us? Is that Chatfield?
No, well, Chatfield is the sponsor. I think we've got a independent contractor doing that this afternoon, but I'll check at halftime and let you know the
Beautiful.
the company.
Opting for the reverse sweep there. Someone that I've seen as a great reverse sweeper of the ball is another Englishman that we've got, Harry Fulton, played in the Colts in the game before and did really well. Got UCC to a fairly respectable score, 63 off 54 deliveries. And if you want to see a good reverse sweeper of the ball, look no further than Harry Fulton. If Freddie's on the mic, his older brother, or Freddie's listening at home, sorry, hopefully he can learn a thing or two about how to sweep a ball like his younger brother.
Josh Vernon into Dion Billington. And no run. Well, it's all action over at the barbecue at the moment, mate. Harry Hodges, the English import, has handed the tongs back to Chili Farmer, who is now working the sausages with his back to play. And now he's abandoning the tongs.
Yeah. Could be a whole comedy skit about what's going down there.
Josh Vernon in.
Goes with a slower ball, work through backward square. Alex Davies, his keeper, puts on a chase, but he's beaten by Dreno at fine leg. Good running from the Wanneroo batsman, 2 there. That's what they're going to have to do well to get them out of this hole, is very good running and still look to score. Is the art right now. How can you be confident and look to score when the scoreboard looks quite dire? But you've got to bat to score and bat to win here.
Just a slight change in the field, so that looks like a man has come across from slip to mid-wicket. And a fast bouncer that the batsman has pulled over the top of the keeper. Diving save by Jay Chislett in the outfield and saved 2 runs there. So well fielded, Jay Chislett.
Aggressive bowling from Josh Vernon. I like it. And I like the Wanneroo batsman still looking to take on that pull shot. Still looking to score there. Looks quick though. Wouldn't want to be out there.
Now there's always some big names that come down to the University Past Players Day, and as I cast my eye over to the left, where the past players and past university people are milling, that's a lovely pull shot.
Who have you noticed, Will Stips?
I'm just admiring that pull shot by Dion Billington before I tell you all about who's over at the tent.
That is a good pull shot.
I'm seeing Darryl Foster, former West Australian coach and professor here at University of Western Australia, as Josh Vernon in again. And nice cut shot this time. And well fielded by Josh Dallymore, so for another 2. So a productive over this over. The first of sort of a better over for Wanneroo. Darryl Foster he's big in was a professor in sort of human movement and physical sciences, and he was the one who helped pioneer down at the lab just down at the end of campus here, as Josh Vernon into Billington again. Pioneered the test for and created the test for throwing in cricket when a bowler is throwing. You know.
Wow.
So. And he was the one, when there was the controversial calls of murally throwing, the tests were done at the end of the campus here, and Darryl Foster was in charge of those tests, and so the cricketing world has a great deal of gratitude to pay Darryl Foster for the tests that now any bowlers who sort of have a bit of a suspected bent arm now have to undergo. That was a test created by Darryl Foster. So and at the in the uni lab just down the road, just down the end of the campus here. So
that's amazing.
Chisel it in. Lovely cover drive.
That's beautiful.
Lovely cover drive.
James Oval is always a carpet here. Not much pulls up. And that just flew. This is the counter punch I was referring to here. Surge will be available in a couple overs, and I think Wanneroo would hope these two batsmen are still out there to take it. Jay Chislett just opting to pull his length a little bit back there. Only allows the one. Any other big names that you've seen come through today?
Well, there's a lot of... Oh, I can see Ashton Agar over there, so he's down...
Might go ask for an autograph later.
Ashton Agar's over there. Usually John Inverarity is down here at some point. Oh, there's an appeal. And not out. We'll watch that one on the replay, which is coming up now. That was an appeal for LBW. I think there was a half appeal for a catch too, so...
Lots going
Can't
on.
have it both ways. And I see a number of UCC Life members down there. That looked like a slower wrong'un by Jay Chislett. Lee Bott is down there. He's a UCC Life member and was a teacher at Kent Street for many, many years in their cricket program there.
Oh, could have a mix-up.
Yes, that's going to be out. No, he's dropped the ball.
Line has fumbled. Unlucky from Jay Chislett there. Well fielded from Straub. Getting around, picking up, good throw. Bit of pressure there, bit of miscommunication.
Mark Palmer is down there. Now, Mark is played a couple of games for WA and is a Life member here at UCC. And he also... In his working life, he works for Shaw and Partners, the stockbroking and finance firm, and Shaw and Partners are one of our sponsors here at university, which I know Mark was pretty integral in organising. So we welcome Shaw and Partners here as a sponsor of University Cricket Club and acknowledge their support of University Cricket Club. What a great afternoon, though. Hey?
It's beautiful.
Where else would you want to be on a Sunday afternoon?
I was thinking about this the other day. If you were to describe the perfect cricket day you want to rock up to, I think today might match it.
Well, it's been very wet here in Perth during what we would call the pre-season. So the pre-season months are sort of August, September, and then our first month of the season is October. And the last sort of 2 months of pre-season and the first month of the season has been as wet as I can remember. I don't think we've missed so many trainings and game time in the previous 14, 15 years I've been here. This would be the wettest start to the season that I've ever seen. Another celebrity sighting down here, Braden, Corey Roccaccioli. We were speaking about him earlier. He's now over to our right. He's brought his dog Winston down.
Beautiful dog.
Beautiful dog. What's that, Golden Lab, I think it is, young Winston. And
it's a beautiful shot. Keefe comes on to bowl, and Wanneroo proceeding with this counter punch attack. As I was referring before, a cover slap through forward point for 4. Beautiful batting. Are you a dog person, Stibber?
I'm more a cat person.
More a cat person.
Yeah. My partner Rachel, my lovely partner Rachel, she's a mad cat person and just loves cats. And we were out walking a few years ago and came across a cat that we thought belonged to a house, and so we always stop and pet the cats as we walk. And we came back the next day and patted him again, and we just couldn't work out which house he was associated with, because he was hanging outside an abandoned house near Wesley College. And
wow.
And then so we took a bit of food with him for us the next time we went for a walk, because he looked pretty skinny, and he followed us home. And we worked out, took him down to RSPCA, and apparently he'd been abandoned, and so we adopted him. So
wow, that's beautiful.
Our little he's called Finn. And Finn is just the life of the house. So we absolutely love him.
King of the house?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he just rules the roost. Man.
Yeah. That's a lovely story.
That's a nice single. So a pretty productive over here so far for Wanneroo. I'm going to say there's 8 runs off the over so far.
Here's a question for you, Stibber.
Mm-hmm.
When do you reckon DRS is going to be introduced to Premier Grade cricket?
Oh, I think we're within 5 years of it.
Yep.
Yeah. We've been talking about the last 2 years how we might be able to do it, because obviously this broadcast, this Chatfield live stream, has been going for a few years, and we've been running this special day that we do once a year where we have the commentary as well and the ball tracking. We do that once a year. Thanks very much again to the Chatfield group for their continued sponsorship of the broadcast here at University. There's a nice little cut shot for 4 off
Beautiful.
Matt O'Keefe. So
Beautiful shot.
the scoring rate is lifting. I'm going to count the runs. 7, 8, 12 off that over. And the current score 6 for 56 off 10 overs. So scoring rate's actually not too bad, 5.5 and over, but the loss of 6 wickets is probably weighing the game heavily in University's favour at the moment.
The surge also has now become available. It's 10 overs complete.
Correct. So, in terms of what we're trying to do with this particular broadcast is we try and, at least once a year, coincide this full broadcast with the Past Players Day and make a real event of it. We'd like to do it a bit more. There is a bit of a cost barrier to doing it, but as Josh Dallimore is back in the attack, and he's got some very good figures at the moment. 3 for 4 off 2.1 overs. But I think what you're seeing across the competition, the adoption of live streaming of games is now almost entirely complete. In that you can watch even under 13s games now on live stream.
Yep.
Certainly grades 1 to 4 are all pretty much all. Well, that's in the air, going down to third man, and caught right in front of the barbecue.
Safe hands there. And Josh Dallimore is having a day out today.
Look at that.
4 for 4 off his 2.2 overs. That is incredible bowling. Once again, it's that back of a length bringing about a false drive, and that breaks a key partnership that's just starting to build. T. Walker has to walk off for his 8 for 15.
8 or 15, yeah. So yeah, I think we've pushed the envelope a little bit here. We've moved the needle on what you can do in grade cricket with this type of broadcast. Our next goal is to be able to do this more regularly, and that's going to require us to bring the price point down in terms of how we do it, and that's sort of being discussed. Once we get that under control, I think DRS will be the next thing. So I would say in the next 2 years, this type of broadcast that we're doing right now will be, hopefully if we're on the timeline that we're hoping to work to at University, will be a once a week thing. Whenever our first team is at home, this will be the broadcast. And once we've got that sort of bedded down, the next thing will be how do we bring the technology into what we're doing. So yeah, I think when you see the pictures of what we're producing here today, it feels like you're on the field. And when I watched back last year's broadcast, you could hear people talking. It's different to an international game where the crowd is there and everything. This feels like you're on the field, and I think as a product, people are going to really enjoy watching this week in, week out when we get to that point.
The technology will only get better as well.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, sorry to interrupt. Speaking of last year's broadcast, was that when Jack Webster had his incredible T20 innings?
Yes, it absolutely was. Now Jack is out injured today. He played last week and did his thing against Willerton down at Holla Park, as they call it. Now, Holler is that's a company, right? Holler.
I think so.
Because it used to be called Burrendale Park, so I don't think it's a change of park name. I think they've privatised the
sponsorship.
Yep. So we haven't done that at James Oval yet, but if anyone's out there and would like to sponsor us, our oval for the naming rights, we're open to discussions. So the score is currently 7 for 57 in the 11th over. Josh Dallymore with the wonderful figures of 4 for 5 off 2.5 overs.
He must be pinching himself. Can't believe it. He's bowled really well today. D. Billington putting up a bit of a fight here. He's 27 off 15. Yeah,
and Caden Eaton is a very capable batsman, so they would still sort of think that they have an opportunity here to get to a score that will at least make the game competitive.
What sort of score, if you were coach of Wanneroo, would you be saying this is what we're going to try and get to?
I think you'd be sort of trying to go around about 6 and over from here to get to 120.
Yep.
And if you could get to 120, at least you're in with a chance, a puncher's chance.
Yep.
I think you're miles behind if you're probably what the par score is, but I think it would give you a puncher's chance if you could get a couple of early wickets.
Yep.
Given what we saw in the early game where the score of 140 that University made when they batted first got chased down in the 15th over or 16th over, I think the par is more like 160.
Yep.
So
tends to be the case at James Oval as well.
Yeah. So Will Basisto back in the attack.
Great movement by Chris Saberg once again at backward point, moving around, just keeping it to a single.
So one of the things we track, and if you're Braden Fernandez, you can see me doing this, but if you're watching at home, you can't see me doing. One of the things we track is how many what we call dot balls, which is balls that are not scored off. We track that as one of the things that sort of define good cricket in the T20 game, and at the moment, University are at around about 33 dot balls, which basically means half the balls that have been bowled haven't been scored off, which is, a pretty strong indicator that University is well on top here. If you don't, wickets aside, which shows that they are well on top, but the scoring rate also shows that they're well on top here.
At the end of 20 overs, what's a good quota or a marker for we want this amount of dot balls as a bowling side? At first grade level?
At first grade level, it's usually around about 30. If as a batting side, you want to keep it under about 30. If it's a bowling side, you kind of want to be over about 35. So it's small margins, but these T20 games are defined by small margins, and so an extra over of balls that's a wicket, and that's been the key player so far in the Wanneroo innings, Dion Billington. Looks like he's been caught behind another wicket catch to Alex Davies, so he's having a great day.
Just seems like Will Basisto shot that one through a little bit quicker. Might have rushed the cut shot a little bit more. Maybe a bit of variable bounce, but yeah, as you were saying, Stiver, that's the huge wicket of D. Billington, someone that put a bit of a fight, had a bit of heart about him, and has got some runs on the board for Wanneroo, but now walking off the field. Great day for Alex Davies. When is the great man James Bracey returning? Do you know the date?
Yeah, he'll be here for round 7, which is around about 16th, I think, 15th or 16th of November. So we have Alex in the first team till then, and then James will take over. But part of the reason that we wanted Alex out here prior to James coming is the amount of games that we're playing early on in the season. When you talk about the number of games we're playing in a season, well, 2/3 of those are done by Christmas. So
wow.
most of the season this year is, in terms of number of games, is played before Christmas, and then after Christmas we come back and solely play 2-day cricket, and I think there's only one Sunday in January. Other than that, we only play Saturday for the rest of the year. So.
Must have a heavy toll on some of the bodies of the big bowlers that we've got, and must be a huge focus of UCC with how we manage players and bodies and loads and injury preventions. Is that a focus that we've had this year and many years?
That's a very astute comment, actually, Braden, because for the first time ever at grade cricket, we are having discussions and managing players based on workload in terms of games that they might play or might rest, because we want to make sure that we keep our fast bowlers in play, as such, as you would say, and not injured. So, for instance, Josh Dallymore, who's just coming back from a bit of a niggle, he's playing today, but he wasn't playing yesterday in any of our 4 grades, primarily because we wanted to make sure that for all the cricket that we've got coming up, that we didn't push him whilst he was sort of coming back from an injury. And
seemed to pay off well.
Wow.
4 for 6.
Looks like a brilliant move today.
Yep.
Hey? All those kind of coaching decisions, they don't always work, so when they come off, you can take the praise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see the Penta clan is down today, so Kevin Penta and his 2 sons, Alex and Dave, who all played for university, are all down over at the past players function as more arrive.
Speaking of player management, a new initiative, maybe new, but for me it's new, being new to the club, is we're having is it a playing psychologist? Is that something we're bringing to the club?
Yes, well, what we've been trying to do over many years at university is sort of make use of... Oh, what a catch!
What a catch! And that is 5 for Dallymore.
5 for Dallymore, and I think that's 4 catches. Look at this catch. Oh, he's going to enjoy seeing that one on the replay. That's a fantastic catch by Alex Davies.
That's incredible. Incredible. Back of a length. Produces false drive, edge, and Alex Davies pulling off an absolute blinder. You don't see much better than that.
That is an absolute cracking catch. And that is, that's a pro keeper at work.
He looks good in a UCC kit, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, over the years, going back to your discussion, over the years we have tried many different things in terms of utilising the capabilities on campus for various things. We have had a number of sports science people in their last year of their degree come and run our strength and conditioning programs. And this year we were fortunate enough to be approached by the psychology department, who have a student who's in their final year of sports psychology, and that's a very long degree. It's not, and in the final year you've basically got to do. It's the final year is all about doing practical work to build up your hours before you're allowed to practice on your own. You have to do a number of hours under the supervision of a registered sports psychologist, and so we have a final year student working with our players this year to give them an outlet to chat about high performance sport and their role and playing capabilities, and very excited to see how that goes, because it's something we've been talking about. I think the needs of players these days at grade cricket level are so much more than they once were. We ask so much more of you in terms of training requirements. You've got to balance, in your instance, you've got to balance your studies, your whatever you do in your social world and your cricket, and that's not easy. And as a young person,
Dropped it.
Could have been 6. Could have been 6. Just hands on head for Josh Dallimore. He could have had 6 in a T20, but dropped by Matthew O'Keefe at Gully.
Dallymore's got a free drink after the game if he wants. Tough chance, went quick.
And I'll tell you, even the service is there for coaches and committee members as well, and I'm sure I'll have a chat to her at some point. So
it's a great resource to have.
It's a great resource to have, yeah.
Dallimore goes short, pull shot comes out, top edge.
Isn't that always the way? You get the drop catch and the next ball you get hit for 4. Oh, that'd be frustrating.
Love cricket.
But what a great spell by Josh Dallimore. That's his 4 overs done. 5 for 12 off his 4 overs. So a game-changing spell by Josh Dallimore. Wanneroo 9 for 67 off 13 overs. So 1-3. I'm just catching up on the last couple of overs.
Well, Dallimore would definitely have a new cricket ball to take home today, which is add to his collection. Loves his photography. He's got his own photography Instagram page as well.
That is something that we are very fortunate about at University Cricket Club, is we have a number of passionate photographers who come to our games. Renee Grayling, one of our players' mums, Bernard Grayling, his mum. She does a wonderful job with our photography, and Josh Dallimore also takes a great photograph. So he was injured last week and took some great photographs for our socials and our Facebook page. So
starting to get a good turnout, a few more numbers down today for the Past Players Day. Stibber?
Yeah, well, I see some people who I know work for Shaw and Partners have now arrived, and they're quaffing the wines. The wine has come out. The wine and cheese has come out.
We're about to have a good time, Stibber.
It's going to be a nice afternoon over at that tent. Chili farmer's still on the barbecue, but I'm concerned that he's now doesn't look like he's focused. I feel like he's lost concentration on the barbecue.
I'm a bit concerned because I've seen the sausages in the packet for the past half an hour, so I don't know what's going on there. Catches it in the bowl, over pitching and going through.
That's 4 for Lockie Poulter.
Deep
Yeah.
mid-wicket.
Or it's
Lockie
Carroll.
Poulter.
Carroll. No, Lockie will be the taller of the two players, so that will be Carroll who's hit that 4. So last man standing here for Wanneroo. This pair's got to do it. Whatever the score they're going to set, this pair is going to be the one who does it, because there's no one left after this. Jade Chislett switched ends here. He's bowling from the Reed Library end, which is the northern end. The Reed Library, one of our students. That's a lovely shot.
It's a great shot. Jade Chislett just straying a bit full once again. Getting whipped through square leg for 4.
So one of our Colts players, Will Cutler, he's currently in the middle of his exams. So he was, after the Colts game, was heading off to do a bit of study, and I said, which library are you going to? And he said, it's a great shot. Wonderful shot by Lockie Poulter. So he's going down swinging his Lockie Poulter. 3 4s off this over from Jade Chislett. And yes, I saw Will heading off to the library. I said, which library? Are you going up to the Reed Library? He said, no, I'm going to another one further down the campus, the Social Science Library. He said, the Reed Library this time of year is chock-a-block with nervous students, so he said, I need to find a quiet space.
And he's back down at the cricket.
There he is, by the barbecue.
By the barbecue.
So a good over for Wanneroo there. That was 15 off, so a much more productive over. And the score is now 9 for 82 after 14 overs. Be interesting to see if this pair, have they taken the surge?
I think that might have been one of the surge overs. I'm trying to figure it out.
I think you're right. The fact that they didn't put a sweeper out there to suggest, if you miss the umpire signalling it, which can happen very quickly, the way you've got to work it out is if there's only 2 players out in the boundary, and that looks like that's the case. So I would say this is the second of the surge overs, and it'll be bowled by Josh Vernon.
They've currently got 3 sweepers, which wouldn't work with the math. We've got fine leg, deep square, and deep cover point.
No, but I think the fine leg is coming up now, yes.
Fine leg's coming up?
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Yep, because Corey Rocacholi has walked past Jay Chisel on the boundary and told him to get inside the inner ring or it's going to be a no more. Corey.
That's our players giving back.
The ultimate competitor, Corey. Even when he's not on the field, he's marshalling the troops somehow.
Nice and full. What's the plan here, do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to aim for paint and just keep it full, or slower balls in there, go short? What do you reckon?
I think you're going to see a combination of either bouncers or yorkers. I think it's going to be one of the two. He's not going to bowl any length, and if he bowls any length, like when I say length, just sort of that short of a length, half volley type ball, he's not going to bowl any of that. It's going to be that, which is essentially a yorker or a bouncer. Nose or toes, we call it in the trade.
If he goes upstairs and bowls it short with a pace-on delivery with fine leg and third man up, do you think that could be to his own demise, with a chance of a top edge going over?
Well, that's always the danger. But that's you've got to pick your poison, really. So with only 2 players out, and number 10 and 11, the last thing they want to be seeing is the ball searing past their nose. So
that is true.
The chances of them getting a full-blooded shot off against the pace of Josh Vernon wouldn't be high. But you're right. Probably the risk is of a boundary is if it's a top edge. Around the wicket to the left-hander, and that's going to be a leg by.
What is one rule that you would change in cricket, Stibber?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or add, if you want to add a rule.
I have to say, and I don't like front foot no balls.
In what sense?
Well, the reason I don't like them is I don't think an umpire, like the amount of time an umpire has to look from the landing of, at the pace Josh Vernon is, because I've tried umpiring many times myself in my position as coach. Often you have to stand as umpire in a practice game or something like that. And when I do it, and you have to look at where the front foot is landing, and then try and look up to see if see what's happening as the ball gets bowled at a pace that Josh Vernon's bowling at. You have virtually no time to readjust your vision. So I always struggle to understand how umpires can police a front foot no ball and still give a good decision in the amount of time it takes to look up and focus your vision. I've always struggled with that. So many years ago, the no ball was defined by where the back foot landed. And for me, that gave the umpires a lot more time to make a decision on whether it's a correct ball or not. So I would, me personally, I'd like to see us go back to back foot no balls.
Great shot there.
Lovely hoik.
Picking the gap perfectly. Flicking off the pads, using the pace of Josh Vernon. And he picks the gap between the 2 sweepers and dissects them really well. That ends the surge for Wanneroo. I would say, given the scorecard for them, a successful surge. No wickets lost in that with a few runs. I'm sure they would take that. And the last stand fight continues.
What about you? But I don't play anymore. I'm retired. Well, you're a player. What would you like to change in the game, if anything?
As a gun leg spinner myself, I would, for the viewers at home, I'm a terrible leg spinner. But I think spin bowling should be allowed to pitch the ball outside leg for an LBW as long as impact is in line. The same way, if an off spinner, if they pitch it outside off, they can get an LBW. I understand the rule came into place because of the bodyline series and they were coming around the wicket and it brought danger. But I think if it's a spin bowler, then they should be allowed to. That's my 2 cents on the matter.
So, but that would then be the question: is what's defined as a spin bowler? Like, is it pace or is it a length of run up? How would you define that? I
think it's the same way you get when a bowler comes up and it says whether they're a fast bowler or a fast medium or a slow bowler.
Yep.
We're clearly able to categorise bowlers. I would use that same categorisation. If you're a slow bowler, or you impart sideways movement on the ball. But then you could raise the argument: what if a pace bowler runs in and bowls a leg cutter? Is he now a leg spinner? So then it's. I see.
No, I think that's a really insightful observation.
That's a great take.
That is. Has that clipped the pad, or has he stepped across to? Because that's not been called wide.
Not wide.
So I think the bats might have stepped across here. Yes, he has. That's almost gone over the top of leg stump. I do find it quite a little bit amusing that your rule change is a change that would advantage your type of bowling.
Yep. Because the amount of LBWs that have been turned down, pitch outside leg.
Well, if we don't advocate for ourselves, who are we ever going to advocate in this world, Fern? I agree.
Exactly. Oh, shout. Run out chance though. Gets home safe.
I think it hit pads. I'm just going to watch the replay here. Yeah, no, that's clipped the pads on the way through, so no wide there. And another dot ball for University.
What's the dot ball count up to?
Oh, and that's a big height. That looks like it's clearing the boundary, and it is.
Straight to the past players section there.
Just to the right of Chili Farmer, and I think the first sausage has come off the barbecue because Will Cutler, who's meant to be studying in the library, is now devouring his first hot dog for the afternoon.
That's a great return delivery, that. Good sweep shot from Poulter. He's actually pretty handy with the bat from his recent stats and from playing against him. It's not your usual tail ender.
And 9 for 97 after 16 overs. So, Wanneroo sort of eking their way towards that 120 mark that we said would sort of at least give them a puncher's chance in the game. There you go. There's the footage. We'll look at the man centre of Canna with his back turned. There's Will Cutler enjoying his sausage.
He's an incredible man, Will Cutler. The spiritual leader of the 3rd and 4th grade, I reckon. His father, Peter Cutler, a pivotal person in organising and helping out with the Past Players Day. Is that a correct call?
That's correct, and he's also organiser of what we call the Player Mentors program here at University. And that's bowled him.
Mitchell Drennan gets the job done.
So that's the end of the Wanneroo innings. All out for 97 off 17.1 overs. So University, when they get the opportunity to bat in about 10 minutes' time, will be chasing 98 to win. I would say that University will be hot favourites and quite keen to knock that off quite quickly. Wonderful bowling performance by Josh Dallymore. Let's look through the figures now. I can see 5 wickets for Josh Dallymore, 2 to Will Bazisto, 1 to Chris Saberg, and one at the end there to Mitch Drennan. So a wonderful bowling performance by the University bowlers. They'll be very happy with their afternoon's work, and they'll be
Josh Dellimore and the UCC boys being clapped off here. Well deserved. Yep, just looking through results again, looking through Wanneroo's results. The only notable result is Dion Billington with 29 off his 18, but yeah, it's a disappointing batting result with having 8 batsmen scoring under 10 runs. It's quite concerning in white ball cricket or in any form of cricket when you have 8 of them scoring less than 10, and just getting 14 runs for the top 14 runs for the top 5 batsmen. 17 runs for the top 6 batsmen combined. So that's
not what you're after in short form cricket. Really, the bulk of your runs you're looking to be scored by the top 5. And what are we saying the top 5 scored here?
17.
So with Nick Marlowe dismissed for 6, Kane Pearce 3, Jake Fawcett for a duck, Hayden Stumpers for 5, Mitch Slattery for a duck, and Bradley Marlborough for 3. So between the top 6, which really the bulk of your runs have got to come from, we've got 8 plus 9, 17 runs, which is nowhere near enough.
Not the tail ender's job to score runs.
No, and there you go. There's the barbecue and the past players function in view of for the viewers there. There's Wanneroo bowlers warm up. I see the Agar family has arrived. Young Charlie's here. Life member Winton Willisey, life member Peter Green has arrived. It's who's who of university cricket over on the west bank of James Oval. Now, whilst we've got the break, we'll just thank our sponsors. So this live stream was brought to us by James Chatfield and the Chatfield Group, Western Australia's leading mortgage broker. If you're in the need for a home loan, is the man to speak to, James Chatfield. He'll certainly sort you out. And working at Chatfield Group is former university player Emil van der Merwe. So if you want a home loan, you can go no worse than speak to James Chatfield or Emil van der Merwe. Our other sponsors, Holman Group. If you're looking for some Christmas reticulation presents or garden presents, Holman is your company. So get down to Bunnings and get yourself some Holman products. And Shaw and Partners, we'd like to thank them as well for their ongoing support. And DCIG, we've just landed a big contract in one of the Air Force bases here in Western Australia. So the sponsors of university are doing great, and the university cricket team is doing very well here this afternoon as well.
They are. Stibber, if I was a company and I wished to sponsor UCC, what would I get out of it? How would it benefit my company? And all those questions there.
That's a really good question, Braden. Look at that. What a wonderful... That's your generations. There's Ashton Agar and his son, Charlie. What a wonderful shot that is. Many years' time, we'll look back and I'm sure young Charlie is going to play a fair bit of cricket. We'll look at that footage and
I can see him off the long run already. Look at him
I know. I think Ashton's got him spinning the ball already.
Yeah.
Look, we're incredibly appreciative of all our sponsors at university, and we do everything we can to promote their businesses. We give them Instagram announcements. Young Charlie's playing on the stumps there, but those stumps are actually got naming rights, so that's the Chatfield Group stumps. And we have the Chatfield Group live streaming. We have scoreboards that are sponsored by Precision Radiology. We are looking for a ground naming rights sponsor. So if you're out there and you're interested in getting involved in some community cricket and high performance cricket, we'd love to have a chat to you and see if we can give you some publicity.
Where would they find contact details to getting communication?
All you have to do is look up UWO Cricket and on Google, and you'll find us. Any number, you could ring President Mitch Rocha, you can find my email, there's plenty of contact details, and if you're interested, all you have to do is reach out and we will make every effort to help you out.
Beautiful.
So, big crowd here this afternoon. I reckon we've got a few hundred people around the ground.
Starting to gather around.
The sun is out and people are enjoying 23 degrees and a nice cool breeze coming through.
Couldn't find a park when I got here, Stibber. This is packed. That's something we've got to introduce, Stibber.
What's that?
Player-specific UCC parking.
Oh.
If you can figure out a way, that'll be amazing.
I've been here 15 years now, Braden, and I'm yet to even get a parking pass from UWA Sports. It's like they say it exists, but I think it's like the Crystal Skulls. No one's ever seen it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you can't get a park, Stibber, I've got no chance.
And we're celebrating this weekend. We have the UWA Sports Awards once a year, which if you're a sports club at UWA, which I think there are 52 of them. We have the swimming club, the boat club, the athletics club, the football club, the hockey club, the netball club. You name a sport, UWA's got a club for that sport. And once a year we have the Sports Awards. It's the who's who of UWA sports, and we all vie for those awards of Sports Star of the Year, Coach of the Year, Club of the Year, Administrator of the Year. We all get dressed up, and this year we were at the new pavilion down at UWA Sports Park, which has just been built, the Neil Donaldson Pavilion. It's a wonderful new building, and very proud to say that this year, for the first time ever, the Cricket Club was named Club of the Year at UWA Sports. So we're all admiring the glass trophy that we got on Friday night. A beautiful sort of artistic piece, and it was a wonderful night for the Cricket Club.
That's incredible. What are the requirements for achieving such an award?
Well, it's not just on field performance, although we did have a wonderful, we had a historic year in terms of performance at UWA this year. We won the first grade premiership, we won the club championships, we won the Colts competition, and we made the grand finals of the T20 and one-day competitions, and unfortunately lost those grand finals to Perth, who played very well on both occasions. But it's also to do with your sort of role in university sort of life as a sporting club, and so UWA has a number of policies about inclusion and support of Indigenous students and support of overseas students, and we as a cricket club have sort of tried to embrace that over the last half a dozen years. We've come up with many initiatives to sort of create a welcoming space for students and who want to come and play cricket as well as study, and part of that was creating the T20 Cup. So once a year we have a week of T20 tournaments here, where we invite half a dozen schools. This year it's actually up to 8 schools. We've got our first interstate school coming, so we're very excited to have a Queensland school coming to play in our schools tournament this year.
Amazing.
And then we've launched an Indigenous scholarship. We've launched LGBTQA+. I think that's all the initials.
That is.
We're an ally to the UWA program.
We've got Pride Round coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And we've had our player mentor. I was going to speak to our player mentor program. So if you're playing for University Cricket Club and you're studying and you have a field of interest, so yours would be acting. If you were to enter the player mentor program, we would find someone in the acting industry who would sit down and have a coffee with you and talk to you about how you go about playing your sport and finding your way in your industry as well.
That's amazing.
And a number of our students cricketers have taken advantage of that player mentoring and had a wonderful time meeting sort of mentors who are in the industry that they want to get into and have found their way into jobs because of that program. So just all those sort of initiatives that we've launched over the last few years have sort of caught the notice of UWA, and that was part of the package that we put forward as our nomination for Sports Club of the Year, and the judging panel very kindly ruled that we were the Club of the Year. So we're all floating on air for that, floating on the clouds for that one. It's
That's amazing.
Fantastic award that we've finally won.
Add it to the trophy cabinet. It's getting full now, I reckon.
It is. Yeah, well, we retained the Paul Nicholls Shield yesterday because once a year when we play Subiaco Floret, we play for the Paul Nicholls Shield. And Paul Nicholls was a great player for both clubs. And we play for that shield once a year. And unfortunately, the game got abandoned yesterday due to an unsafe pitch. So University retains the Paul Nicholls Shield, which is currently sitting in my office, as is the Malpar Trophy, which we're the one tournament that that's a competition we have whenever we play Claremont Netherlands. So that'll be back on the line next round when we play Claremont Netherlands next week. So yeah, it is for the first time ever. The trophy cabinet is pretty full. Hey, Brian Ludder's here.
How you going, fella? All good?
Hey, mate.
Brian Ludder. Where are you coaching this year, Brian?
At Perth.
Perth.
Yeah.
He's joined the opposition, the enemy.
It is.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable.
So it's just to finish up, it's a lovely award to win that sports award, and we're all very proud of it. And as we sit here, we see the umpires walking out again, and
Quick changeover.
Tom Murray will be opening the batting with Viv Paver, and they'll be keen to win and win well, I would think, in the next hour or so.
Tom Murray also playing in the second 11 game, as Josh Verner, we mentioned earlier, also did. Tom doing very well with 2 scores above 50.
Well, I mean, I'm absolutely thrilled that Tom got the opportunity to play for Western Australian second 11, but my answer to that would be about time.
About time. That is very true.
Because we have been watching Tom be a phenomenal batsman in the Premier competition for about 3 years now, and those of us at university who have had the privilege of watching him for the last 3-4 years just think he's a phenomenal young talent, and we think he's made of the sort of the type of batsman that can play state cricket and potentially even higher. He's got such a shot range, incredible power, incredible timing, plays shots that most other players can't play, and yeah, good, thanks.
All right, how we going?
Yeah, good. We've bowled them out for 97, and we've got to make 98 now.
Who got the wickets?
Josh Dullymore got 5 for 12. Fast bowler.
Was he playing the earlier game with him?
No. That was the under 21s. Yeah. Let's hope so.
So we could doing something.
The wicket was a bit lively. Yeah, but see how it goes. Yeah.
It's normally in the afternoon it gets better.
It does. Yes. So fingers crossed. Yes, they're all over at the past players' tent over there. Yeah. So, we're just doing some commentary on the live stream. So this is us here, doing some commentary. So I better get back to it. So the university innings has commenced, and Viv Paver has. Well, no, that was a 2.
Yes,
A scampering Tom Murray.
Yeah, off his pads, Lockie Poulter opened the bowling, just showing a little bit down leg side. Left-hander. Quite interesting. You don't see this too often, left-hander. Just a rarity in sport, and especially in cricket.
Oh, he's been bowled.
That's a very good delivery. That goes full and straight and has beaten Tom Murray's defences. Beat it for pace. There would have been a bit of swing in that as well. It takes a good delivery to bowl Tom Murray, and that must have done the same thing. But no need to fear, because the ghost of the Himalayas walks to the crease. Will Bazisto. I'm just in awe watching him. Incredible batsman. Has an incredible record at university, averaging over 100 for the past 4 years in Premier grade cricket, along with also being a professional cricketer. Let's see what he can do for UCC.
That's a lovely ball by Lockie Poulter. That looked like it swung in and beat Tom Murray on the crease. And lovely piece of bowling by Lockie Poulter. He'll be fired up to bowl to Will Bazisto now. But we look, as I said, they'll be looking for early wickets to get them back into the game, and that's certainly a good starting point for them.
Couldn't ask for a better start than that. That's very nice. But speaking of Tom Murray, once again, not only is he a quality batsman that we've all seen before, but just even off the field with his personality, he's a future captain for our club. I presume he captains when Will Basisto is away on his ventures. You can attest to Tom Murray's character as well?
Oh, just a wonderful young man. Not only, he's only 22. He's already captained a premiership in the Colts competition when he was 19 or 20, and now last year when Will Basisto was unavailable for the grand final, Tom stepped up and captained the grand final winning side. So he's already captained 2 premierships at the Wacker, and first ball to Will Basisto, who punches it straight back. So yes, look, Tom's got the brightest of bright futures ahead of him in the game of cricket. Unfortunately, his contribution for the day is now complete.
Yeah.
So we won't get to see his shot play today, but there's plenty more batting in the shed still for University. So we'll look to see who will make these 98 runs today.
Do you see a lot of Will Basisto in young Tom Murray? Because you obviously met Boz around the same age, or maybe a bit younger. Do you see similarities or differences?
They're very different characters. Will Basisto was very intense, very intense in terms of his determination to become a professional cricketer. At 18, he was incredibly clear about the path he was on and driven to do everything he could to become a professional. I think Tom is a little bit more sort of relaxed about things, goes about it a slightly different way, but the common trait is their passion to improve. That's the common trait, but they both have it. There's different personalities, but the common trait is they seek out ways to improve and people who can help them and the knowledge that they need to learn to become better players. They seek it out. They don't wait for anyone else to come to them. They seek it out. And that was something that Cora Roccacholi did magnificently well as he was a player coming through here at University as well. So a couple of dot balls and a wide so far in this over from Lockie Poulter. The sun is shining on the field now. What a beautiful picture that is out there in that James Oval with the big gum trees and the swaying in the wind in the background. Where would you rather be on a Sunday afternoon?
Exactly.
Oh, and a quick single to Will Basisto. Very, very clear call. Hey, Tony King walking by. Good, mate. Yourself? Yeah, thank you very much. Well, the hot dogs are flying over at the hot dog tent now, and the wine is being quaffed and the cheese platters are out, so much merriment is being held over at the sponsors tent at the moment.
Sure is. I think Chili Farmer has done all right if people are eating the sausages. First over complete, 1 for 4. Good start for Wanneroo.
We need to send the SOS out to the hot dog table, mate. Bring the hot dogs over.
I agree.
The poor old commentators being left without a hot dog. What's going on?
Who's coming on the bowl now? T. Walker?
T. Walker. Now, what is T. Walker's first name? Is it Tristan?
I'll get it up right now. Thomas.
Thomas Walker.
Thomas Walker. So Thomas Walker has taken 6 wickets this season at an average of 19.17 with the best bowling of 2 for 15. Economy of 3. So good bowlers at a good start to the seasons, picking up 6. Only a couple of games played so far.
Well, they're in a bit of a rebuilding phase, Wanneroo. They won the premiership around about, I think I call it the COVID year, of around about 2020, I think, or 21, I think it was. They won a premiership.
What premiership format was that in?
In the 2-day stuff. They
Yep.
beat Claremont Nedlands in a final out at Lilac Hill. Rob Kelly walking past. Welcome, Kells. They won a 2-day final where Caden Eaton sort of cut through the middle order of the star-studded Claremont lineup. They've included the likes of Nick Hobson and Tim David and Eskenazi and Jacob Whitaker and James Allenby. And
Good lineup, that.
So it was sort of almost an unexpected premiership because they went into the final severe underdogs and pulled off a very big victory. So, but from that premiership year, the next year, a number of those senior players that sort of had played in that premiership retired, and so they sort of have been on a sort of a rebuilding program in the last couple of years, and to varying degrees of success. Last year was probably a year that they'd look back and go, "Oh, not our best year." I think they finished bottom of the ladder, but they certainly look like some of the younger players they've been investing in are starting to become the players that they'd hoped, and you can see a significant improvement both in their competitiveness and results this year. So I would think they're pretty pleased with their sort of growth in the last 12 months, and Thomas Walker would be one of those players that they're hoping to build the team around going forward, as is Lockie Poulter, Dion Billington, the Slattery brothers. They're sort of players that they've invested in and hope to become very good grade cricketers over the next few years. Nice little glance to fine league by Viv Paver there.
You've been at UCC for a fair few years now. Have you ever had to go through a rebuild, and what lessons would you have learnt when you went through it, if you had to go through it?
Well, we went through 2 rebuilds in the last time I've been coach. So I've been here since January 2013. Sort of around about 14, 15, we sort of results-wise had probably the poorest season that I've had as coach, and that was where we lost a lot of senior players and sort of was bringing through a new generation of players. That was the first time we did it, and in that rebuild we managed to make a grand final in 2018. So it took about 2 or 3 years to get that team from where we sort of started with a new team to get it to the point where it could make a grand final. Then in 2020 we were sort of going quite nicely with that team that we'd built, but then COVID hit and everyone's circumstances changed, and half our team ended up changing jobs, and a couple of them went to the country, a couple have moved overseas, and so we sort of lost most of that team and had to rebuild again from scratch. And when you say, what lessons do you learn when you're rebuilding? Well, we were able to rebuild so much quicker because I'd done it once before.
Yep.
And Viv Paver had been there with me, and Mitchell Roche had been there at the club, our current president.
Yep.
And so we sat down and we sort of mapped out, well, what are the key things that might be that we can do as an administration and coaching group that could quicken up the building process. And we came up with a number of initiatives that we thought would work, and some were focused around recruiting, some were focused around training patterns. Oh, lovely shot by Viv Paver there.
One-handed cover drive. Just digs out a Yorker there. Should get 3 from this.
And we sort of addressed it on all levels. How do you recruit better? How do you manage your athletes holistically with from all kinds of things, mental health, health and well-being. How do you train in a way that, because training at grade cricket had always been so very sort of traditional, you do your Tuesdays from 4 till 6 or 4:30 till 6:30, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's it. And so we changed our training patterns to a very different type of schedule, and I would say in large part a lot of those things have worked, because 3 or 4 years after going through that bottoming out period, we made a few grand finals and won a premiership. So that's what
won a club championship as well.
Championship as well. So so I think there are some lessons, some of which are intellectual property that we'll keep to the University Cricket Club, and some of the other things are probably common knowledge. But
you used to play a bit of cricket yourself?
Oh yes. I played for first grade for university, so I'm cap number 365.
365.
Yeah, so it's very easy to remember my cap number because it's a number of days in a year.
Yep.
And then I played many years for Melville. We won a couple of club championships when I was playing over at Melville. So,
what's a piece of advice that you wished you would have received as a young cricketer?
Young cricketer. I can tell you a piece of advice that I'm not going to give you a piece of advice I got as a cricketer. I'm going to give you a piece of advice that I got as a coach that has been unbelievable advice for me as a coach.
Yep.
Because when I first took the job in 2013, I did a lot of my cricket. I lived in Melbourne for 20 years, so I played a lot of my cricket at Melbourne University and Collingwood Cricket Club. And
that's a beautiful shot. Caresses through the covers, dissects the gap between cover and mid off beautifully. Haves picks up another 3. Sorry, continue.
And when I was at Melbourne University, the coach there was Michael Sholly, who was, if you're a Victorian and you know cricket, you'll know Michael Sholly. He was one of the prominent coaches, best coaches in grade cricket for many, many years in Victoria. And so when I got the job here at university, I was fortunate enough to be at a Melbourne University Cricket Club breakfast back in 2013, and I sought him out and I said, look, what's one piece of advice? You've had incredible success as a coach over a long period of time. What's one piece of advice you'd give? This question you've just asked me. Yep. What's one piece of advice you'd give a young coach starting for the first time? And he said, he thought about it for about 30 seconds. And he said, the one thing I'd say is make sure that every time one of your players asks you how you think they're going, have one thing that you can say to them that they're not expecting you to say in terms of something you've seen. So, for instance, if you, as a player, come to me and you say, how do you think I'm batting at the moment? I will have in my mind a shot that you've played in your innings, or a couple of shots, that you wouldn't be expecting me to recall. So you'd say, how are you going at the moment? And I'll say to you, oh, look, you hit a cut shot in the 5th over that I think you didn't get quite cleanly enough, and I think that was a technical error in the way you executed the shot.
Yeah, wow.
And so, because I can recall that amount of detail, you now think that I've watched you in great detail. But it's really that I've captured a snapshot and I've made note of something that I think you can
100%.
improve. And because as a coach, you've got 75 players under my tutelage, so I can't watch every ball of 75 players every week. But what I can do is get a snapshot, and then give you feedback on that snapshot, and it makes you feel like I'm interested in. Well, I am interested in your development because I'm watching. But it makes you feel connected with me as a coach, because you're not expecting me to say that, because you probably don't think I've watched that over, you know what I mean, and in that amount of detail.
100%. I find coaching and teaching are very similar, and in teaching, my whole teaching philosophy, I've had to write too many university papers on this, but my teaching philosophy, kids just want to feel seen, or people just want to feel seen, and to be loved is to be seen. And I find that piece of information you gave just there is you make players feel seen by giving that sort of information, and I'm sure they'd highly respect and be able to relate to that really well.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect summary. Is players do want to be seen, and when you make them feel that they are seen, they will trust you more as a coach. And ultimately, to coach someone, you've got to engender some trust in the athlete.
Just back to play. UCC are 1 for 15 off 3.2 overs. T. Walker bowling well here, none for 4 off his 1.2 overs.
Oh.
Could be a chance here.
Oh,
just got
diving
over him.
Catch. No, diving drop catch.
Let's watch the replay.
Didn't quite get enough of that pull shot paper. Very lucky to still be at the crease, I would say. And they scampered through for 2.
I think that's a bit of a pressure build up there. I think the play is to go short with the fields that they've got now with a deep fine leg and a deep square leg. My eyes could be deceiving, but that wicket looks like it's on the closer block to is that Humanities building over there?
Yeah.
Yep, the
it's
Humanities
pitch number
building.
4 of 6.
Yeah. Hit him to the big boundary.
Walker into paver. Nicely defended.
Oh, Steve, have a look at this.
Oh, about time.
This is incredible.
Well, we've been talking up Chili Farmer's barbecue abilities.
We're going to put it to the test now.
Has just delivered the hot dogs with the barbecue sauce and the tomato sauce. This is very good of you, Chili. And
Thank you,
Ollie.
gents.
Oh, hitting spot. You're going to listen to 2 people eat hot dogs now.
That's why I asked if there was a mute button on these before.
And that was an inside edge, just missed the stumps by Viv Paver. Good little early spell here by Thomas Walker. He's got the batsman under pressure.
They just now need some reward. Some reward for this good bowling here. 2 big scalps in the forms of Viv Paver and Will Bazisto. They get these 2, and a couple more. The game could swing. They haven't got many runs to defend with, so the Wanneroo captain has to be pretty ruthless here with how many overs you can offer each bowler. You got to rock up. You got to be on from ball 1, because if you're not, you can't allow runs to leak early.
Oh, there's a mix-up. There's a mix-up. Oh! Will Bazisto, a pull shot to deep square leg.
Looking for a 2, and Paver.
Paver had his back turned.
Big bellowing no from Viv Paver.
Now, you referenced the ghost of Himalayas with Will Bazisto before. Can we just enlighten the viewers what you are referring to there when you say the ghost of Himalayas?
So, when Will Bazisto was playing for the Yaks in his first season, as we mentioned before, he's re-signed. The commentary team, when he was bowling, and pretty sure he took a 3-wicket spell and started calling him the ghost of the Himalayas, and the UCC boys loved that, and it stuck. And that's now it's a good nickname to have. I'd love to have a nickname like that, but the ghost of the Himalayas.
Actually, I do love the marketing of the Nepal Premier League, because I saw a photo of Will Bazisto, and it had been doctored up to have him in a Spider-Man suit.
I saw that, yeah.
I thought that was wonderful.
He's going to spin a web with his off-spin.
Nice little pull shot from Will Bazisto, but for no run. It's not all the batsman's way here. These are 2 very good players in Bazisto and Paver. And the Wanneroo bowlers are really testing them.
First over just exiting the power play.
Oh,
Goes short.
He got greedy. One bounceman too many there.
Dissects the fielders in the deep very well. Not sure if short is the option to Will Basisto here.
I think you can use it as a variation, but he probably got away with one the wall before, and then he went again. He went back to the well one more time, and I think that was Will Basisto was never going to let 2 bounces go before he hits a boundary.
Matter of time.
I think this pitch has shown enough life that I would still be sort of trying to hit that short of a length that Josh Dallymore did so successfully. I think that's the much better play.
Oh, he does the double whammy. Goes short, gets pulled, goes full, gets cover driven. That is beautiful batting right there. Stepping into the ball, putting his weight into the ball. Lovely to watch. Nothing better than a good cover drive in cricket.
If you're at home and you want to show your son or daughter how to play a cover drive, just rewind a couple of seconds to watch that shot from Will Basisto, because that was textbook cover drive. Look at this. Bang. Head still. Weight transfer over the front leg. Just a beautiful piece of batting. Oh, they're on for 2. Close, but Basisto scampers home and beats the throw. So he's up the tempo now, Will Basisto. 10 off the last 3 balls, and the score has moved on to 29. So University about a third of the way towards the target now.
Just when Wanneroo looked like they were on top and creating chances, Will Basisto has other thoughts.
Oh, he's a bit annoyed at himself there, Basisto, for not quite getting that shot off cleanly. But as I say, the Wanneroo bowlers have actually been bowling very well here, and Lockie Poulter is bowling a good little spell. I think he got a little bit ambitious with maybe one too many short balls there. But other than that, his spell has been very, very good, and figures of 1 for 21 off 3 suggest that he's been quite threatening. So 10 off that over, and the score is 1 for 29 off 5. So University moving along at sort of 6 and over, and that should, if that keeps up, we'll sort of be drawing stumps around about the 15th over. But we got a change in bowler here. I'm not quite sure who this is.
Is it a change?
Or maybe it's not a change in bowler. No, just a change in field.
Yep. Out of the power play, so it'll be a different field set. The UCC Prem side as well would also be looking for a bit of revenge in this competition. Obviously coming pretty close to winning it last year, but just falling narrowly short against Perth in the final at the Wacker after a brilliant knock from Will Basisto. Hitting 70 that game has to be one of the best knocks I've ever seen. How do you think these boys feel going into this competition? Obviously you're close to favourites, but didn't get the job done last year, but different team, different players in. How do you reckon they'd be trying to navigate this tournament?
Well, it's such a short qualifying period. So when we got the draw, we realised we had 2 home games out of the 3, and then the third one is down at Holar Park in Willetton, which is a notoriously tough place to play. We'd sort of identified that to really qualify for the finals, we probably needed to win these 2 home games, and probably win one of them quite well, so that our net run rate was enhanced. And I think so far the execution against Joondalup a couple of weeks ago and now today has been pretty good. It is a very strong side that University have on the park, and I know they have expectations of returning to at least the final. Well, you have the semi-finals and quarterfinals on the same day, so first goal is to reach that day, and that can be quite a difficult day. It's such a long day, those quarterfinals into semi-finals. So it'll be interesting sort of year to see if we can at University sort of qualify again for finals and go deep into finals, but it's very hard to do it year in, year out, and I know this group are very determined to see if they can get back there and actually win one of these white ball titles. That has eluded us on a number of occasions now. We've lost 2 T20 grand finals in recent years.
Do you know when the last white ball final would have been won, or is it the competition's been around for too short of a time for us to win one?
The last one-day title that University won was in 1974 or 75, and we've made a couple of T20 grand finals and a one-day grand final since, but we haven't won any of them. So it's probably one of the for this playing group in this era, it's one of the challenges that still remains ahead for this group. Oh, a lovely cut shot.
That's beautifully placed and played.
Now, there's not often I will claim something, but seeing Viv Paver cut a ball, going back about a couple of times last pre-season, this pre-season, I don't often have hits with Viv because he's sort of so clear on how he wants his game, but every so often he'll ring me up and say we won over net, and I've been trying to help him build a cut shot for the last couple of years. And
cut shot?
Yeah. And finally, in the list this year, he's starting to play them regularly in the game, and he's looking so. It's such a nice shot too, and I can't believe he's not been cutting for years because he plays it so well. But finally, we're seeing it regularly in the game, so I'm very, very pleased.
That is a good claim to fame, that.
But,
you should get paid royalties on that.
10%. So just walking past me then was James Chatfield from Chatfield Group. So all our sponsors are here today and having a great old time. So I can attest now that that Chili Farmers brought us a hot dog, that they're actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was worth the wait. Worth the wait.
He did a good job in the end.
So Viv Paver 6 off 11, Wolves Zisto 15 off 23. It's good starts from both of them. I'm sure they're going to desire a lot more, and they'd be saying we can chase this total down, just the two of us. They batted really well together in the final of the Prem T20 last year. A good partnership between them. Pays with a 50-plus score in that game as well. So they batted together for quite a while across the years, if I'm correct, Stibber.
Sorry, I've got a mouthful of hot dog here.
No, sorry. Got your bad time.
Well, what I can tell you about these two who are batting is I just got a message from former President Max Hope, who's watching in Sydney. Glad to hear you're enjoying the broadcast, Hopey, and enjoying my mouthful of hot dog. What I can tell you about the two who are batting, Viv Paver, currently the leading run scorer ever in Premier Cricket for University, and hot on his heels is Will Basisto. So right at the crease right now, you have the leading run scorers ever in the history of University Cricket Club. In its 110-year history, you have the two highest scoring batsmen at the crease right now.
That's incredible.
So it's sort of a golden era that we're in at the moment with these guys and Tom Murray, because Tom Murray, I think, is now in the top 10, as is Chris Saberg. So you've probably got four of the top leading run scorers ever in the club's history, all playing in the same side. So it's an incredible team that has formed.
Do you know the rough numbers of where like Paves and Boz sit? Doesn't have to be exact, just like rough.
Yeah, no. Viv is coming up to 5,000 runs for University, and Will Basisto's a couple hundred runs behind him. And then Chris Zaberg's at, I think, about 3,500, coming up to 4,000 runs, and Tom Murray's just past 3,000 runs. So Tom Murray is I always thought that probably in my lifetime I wouldn't see. I thought Will Basisto would end up being the leading run scorer for University. That wouldn't be passed. But I now think that Tom Murray actually will, in the due course of University's history, will pass Will Basisto as a leading run scorer, because Tom is sort of well on his way to getting towards 5,000 runs, and he is only 22, so he's got plenty of years left to sort of continue to add to his total.
If Boz has ever a chance in his mind of losing a contest, he'll play till he's 60, I reckon. So I can't see Boz retiring. We are in a golden era. Yeah. It's pretty cool to watch.
Now, Braden, I'm going to ask you to vacate just for 10 minutes.
No stress.
Because we got here former University player and Kent captain, Dave Fulton.
Beautiful.
Whose sons Harry and Freddie have also played for University, and he's just arrived in the country in the last week, here for the Ashes. And he said he'd pop in for 10 minutes to have a quick chat. So you can go and have another hot dog and come back in 10 minutes.
All right, thank you.
As we wait for Dave to put the headphones on, the score is 1 for 40 after 7 overs. Viv Paver on 18 and Will Basisto on 17. So, Dave Fulton, welcome back to James Oval.
Stevesy, lovely to be here. What a day as well. Beautiful. Sun's out. Everyone moaning that it's cold. They've all got their kind of jackets on, and this is a balmy summer's day in England, I can assure you. Especially
the shirts would be off in England.
Oh, mate, this time of year especially. So, yeah, pleasure to be here. 30 years ago since I graced the James Oval. I think that's probably stretching it somewhat, but since I played here, and it looks a picture. And many congratulations to you and the team and everything you've achieved in the last few years, because it's gone from strength to strength, and I'm aware of my son's involvement, just how much work goes into it behind the scenes, and very grateful for the opportunities you've afforded my boys and everyone else who plays here, mate. So
mate.
Good on you. Good on you, as they say. And I tell you, I've seen some reprobates in the tents as well.
Oh, yes.
Kelly and
it's
King.
It's the who's who of
it's
the who's who of the last 30 years over at the tents this afternoon.
And Palmer got me saying a few words as well to entertain the masses. I'm sure that's exactly what they needed.
So you're out here for a few weeks?
Yeah, I'm out here. I've come see Harry, come see you guys. Yeah. But I do 10 days with the Lions, who get here next week in the build-up to the first Ashes Test, and the Lions are the one warm-up game that England have before that Perth Test match. So yeah, good to be involved with England a bit.
And as a proud Englishman, are we confident?
Well, I think we are going to be competitive, and I would say certainly the talk in England is it is England's best chance since 10-11 of winning in Australia. That doesn't happen very often. I think, is it 8 Test matches England have won since about 1980. So tough stomping ground.
Well, I've got a few questions for you that I think the Test match series will hinge on. Is Mark Wood and Jofra Archer going to be able to last 5 Tests in Australia?
Well, they won't play 5 Tests each. I can tell you that for nothing. Shot.
So, have you got the fast bowling rotation? That's a lovely reverse sweep by Will Basisto. Has that landed for 6? Yes, it has. Yep.
It is very much a Basisto signature shot, as I've come to learn over the last few years. He's been doing a bit of work with Harry, I think, on a Friday morning, and Harry said, "Yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm working on getting the Boz reverse stroke switch hit, putting that in the locker." So I know that's Boz's responsibility. So if Harry comes back with a shot like that, I'll be pretty pleased. Yeah, look, they won't play 5 Tests each, but I think the plan is that one of them will be part of each of the Test matches. I think that's England's plan. What I would say is I'm not privy to anything from the inner sanctum. I'm doing a bit of work with the Lions, but I'm not I don't know anything.
Hey, if you're an Englishman in Australia, this time of year, we're going to ask you about the Ashes.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm doing some work with them, and I work as a journalist. I work for Sky in the UK, so I don't think I've got my finger on the pulse. But this is nothing from the horse's mouth. This is not like I've been speaking to Ben Stokes.
You're not going to line into the camp, right?
I've got no inner track. Yeah, but I would say that the plan is for them to play one of the Test matches. Oh, that's one of my shots. A little snick for two down to find third man. See, that's 4 in England. That's 4 at my home ground, but it's a bigger field here at the James. So I think Wood and Archer, the plan is for them to both play in Perth if Wood is fit. Jofra Archer's firing fit and ready to go. He's been fit for a while.
Yep.
Woody's coming back from injury and hasn't played at all this summer. So probably a bit undercooked, but if he's fit and well and be bowling well indoors, he'll have the warm-up game to prove his fitness.
That's gone out to the outfield, but just going to land a bit short into sort of deep mid-wicket area for single for Paver. So the score moves on to 54. So around about another 40-odd runs to get for University.
So I think they both play in Perth, and the idea would be that one, they just rotate. But they certainly give England a cutting edge. Don't underestimate Gus Atkinson. Good bowler. He can bowl 90 mile an hour. He's probably not as vaunted as the other two, but he's slippery and skillful and accurate. So he's a good, he's a proper international bowler now. Bryden Cast has got a lot of promise. Becomes a South African-born Durham bowler. So those 4 you'd think will play, and Ben Stokes is key. If Stokes is fit and bowling well, he's arguably at times our best bowler.
Yeah.
And he balances the team up, so he's key.
Oh, that looks close. No.
Good slow ball, that one. We saw that in the morning game in the Colts fixture. A couple of slower balls. I think Josh Vernon certainly rolled one out earlier and bowled a lad with a good slower ball. It's nice to see the change-ups.
Yes, it does seem like on pace has been a little bit easier to hit than the off-pace stuff today.
Well, I also think how difficult is it sometimes to pick up, because, I mean, you have so many wonderful facilities here, but every ground I've seen in Australia, and I did actually pop to Subi the other day because I was playing at the tennis centre, tiny side screens for big grounds.
It is true, actually. We do undersize our side screens.
Yeah. I mean, in England, I play at Whitstable, which is the smallest ground in world cricket, or there or thereabouts. It's tiny. We have more substantial sight screens. It's like a little black handkerchief in the background. So I sometimes think the slower ball might just come out of a tree somewhere.
And what about Bazball? Is Bazball still a thing, or have we gone away from Bazball?
Well, we calmed it down a bit against India in the summer, but it's still a thing. Zach Crawley still wants to hit the first ball of the series for 4, don't worry.
Oh, a lovely shot there. No, it's going to clear the fence. Yeah. That is a signature Paver shot. In fact, last year he hit a very similar shot that landed about 30 metres beyond that, past the tree that's in that corner. And we haven't seen too many bigger hits than that at James Oval.
Well, he's a big, strong boy, Viv, isn't he? He's those long levers, and that was like an off-pace short ball that he saw, and he just swatted it. Very dismissive. It's the experience of Paver, isn't it? Just miscuing there on purpose, just to drop it short of the fielder. Hits them out the screws when there's no fielder there.
That's how you get to be the leading run scorer ever for University. Just be able to negotiate the pace of your shots.
I'm going to hit this one off the splice, drop it short, come one.
And top order? What are we talking about?
Well,
English top order?
Top order is interesting because there's a lot of chat about Jacob Bethel, who a lot of Aussies won't know much about.
We don't know much about at all.
He played in New Zealand and did really well. There were injuries to keepers. Jamie Smith, I think's wife, was giving birth, so the talk was that Jordan Cox was going to come in and keep and bat. Jordan Cox got a finger injury and didn't play, which meant that Ollie Pope kept wicket and dropped down the order, and Bethel came in at 3 and he smoked it, batted beautifully, looked a class act, got runs every time he batted. Didn't get 100, but got 70s and 90s and just looked to the man of ball.
Oh, hang on, what's happened there?
A bit of glove, maybe.
Signature Zisto sweep, but didn't quite get it.
Yeah, just seeing for the signal. I think it might have been glove. Is he going to signal? No, it's good. Yeah, I think he went down to sweep it, came off the glove. So come to.
Yes, so tell us through Bethel.
So Bethel's a left-hander, bowls a little bit of left arm, quick left arm spin, not really a spinner, more kind of left arm darts. Not really a spin option, I wouldn't say, but we'll send down a few overs from time to time. But yeah, he's a stroke player. who did really well against New Zealand at 3, and then he was playing in the IPL and didn't come back. The IPL, remember, there was India-Pakistan issues, and it got put back a week, which then meant that the Zimbabwe test clashed. So Bethel was allowed to stay out there by England to play for his franchise in the IPL.
Yeah.
Which meant that there wasn't that awkward decision, because suddenly Jamie Smith was back, Ollie Pope was then back at 3, and if Bethel had been in the mix, they would have had to have made a tough decision. So actually, they kind of like, Bethel, you can stay and play in the IPL, and that sorts our selection dilemma out. And of course, no disrespect to Zimbabwe, but it was Zimbabwe, and Ollie Pope got a big 100.
Yep.
Zach Crawley was probably the other under pressure batter, had a good Ashes series, but it had gone terribly in New Zealand, so he was probably under pressure as well. He got a big 100. And then the two of them were kind of cemented. Ollie Pope got 100 in the first Test match against India, and he was then sorted for the rest of the summer. Bethel came in he didn't play a lot of cricket, was on the fringes of England, carried the drinks a lot, didn't play much. Came in for the last Test at the Oval, which India won in dramatic circumstances to tie it up 2-2. So he probably didn't have the summer he would have liked, but he did get a good 100 in the one day at the back end of the year against South Africa. So Bethel's a class act and is certainly a man for the future. Whether he will be at the Optus playing in the first Test, I doubt. But, I could also see it happening, with maybe Pope left out. So,
well, it's a long summer, and very few. There's always an injury or two.
Yeah.
So
absolutely right. I think that the theory is that they really like Bethel as a player, but Pope and Crawley are established. They're the men in possession, and I think they'll probably start.
Yeah, right.
One warm-up game I don't think is enough to sway. Even if Bethel was to get 150, I'm not sure it would be enough to get him in. But as I say, I'm not privy to the inner sanctum. I don't know what they're thinking, but he's a good book. But I think they like Crawley. He led the run charts in the Ashes in England. He puts bowlers on the back foot. He doesn't mind the quick stuff. He doesn't mind the short stuff.
Oh, there it is, the signature reverse sweep from Basisto. And that's why he's known as the Ghost of the Himalayas, because he just terrorises attacks all around the world with that shot.
For me, with my captain's hat on, knowing that is such a strength of his, and Will Basisto he's not a secret, is he? Let's be honest. He's been around for a while, and everyone knows that. So now they're doing it. So deep third man is going back to the spinner, which is bizarre, but that means they've got to pull someone up. So I'd be inclined to, and I know he can hit 360 and he can hit down the ground, but I'd be inclined to bring mid-off up and say, go on then, bowl straight, see if you want to go over mid-off, and take that option out. It's a good shot.
What I think the reason he is such a good player, and one of the things he has got a great deal of mastery over, is doing that, is forcing the captain to move the field to positions that he's hitting, and then just changing the next ball to a different shot and hitting to a different position, and then forcing the field. He terrorises captains.
And that's where captains, I think, have got to try and be as proactive as possible. So rather than wait until that reverse switch hit gets walloped over deep, backward square on the offside, you know that he's got that in his locker, so start with that man back. Yes. So at least you're being proactive, and it might look like a weird field, but you know that he's got that in his locker. But yeah, it is difficult. You always, as a captain, want one more fielder. So just quickly, your thoughts on Australia. I kind of throw things back at you because you've asked me about England, but obviously Cummins is unlikely to play the first Test. I mean, there's talk that he's unlikely to play at all in the series. We don't know how reliable information that is. I mean, if he wasn't to play, that would be a huge loss, not just for Australia, but I think for the series. You want to see the best players playing against the best players. As much as England want to win, they want to beat Australia's best team.
Well, there's some things I'm nervous about as an Australian.
Come on then, let's hear them.
Well, one of the things is the loss of Cummins as a bowler. To some extent, if Scott Boland is having the year that he's had in the last couple of years again, you can cover the bowling. Yeah, but what you can't cover is the batting. Mm-hmm. And
he's underestimated come at 8, isn't he?
He's completely underestimated the amount of games he's made significant contributions in low-scoring totals to winning games. And
well, look at the last Ashes series. I mean, that knock at Edgbaston won that Test match.
Yeah. So
without Cummins there, you're not winning that game.
You're not winning that game. And so I'm nervous that the tail gets significantly longer when Cummins is not there. That's the first thing. I think for the first time ever, we enter, even right now, and what are we, 3 weeks away from the first test? If you asked a lot of cricket supporters and a lot of followers of cricket, what's the top 3 for Australia? It would be a different answer from a lot of those questions. And so
who's in the mix for that?
Well,
top 3.
There was a lot of talk over winter because Jake Weatherald had a very good Sheffield Shield season and then did very well in the Australia A games over winter. He's in the mix. I get the feeling, you always get vibes out of Cricket Australia as you're coming into these text matches, and there's always if you follow it closely, I always think there's a strong link between the articles that they'll write about players and who's going to get selected. And so the articles on Jake Weatherald have dropped off.
Okay.
The articles on Sam Constas have increased.
Okay.
So
you think Constas?
So I think that the first test we're going to see Sam Constas open with Usman Khawaja, and I think almost certainly they're going to bring Marnus Labuschagne back into 3. I think I think Marnus Labuschagne will definitively play the first test. It's just a question of whether he opens batting or bats 3, but I think they'll go with Constas and then Labuschagne at 3.
Okay.
The question will be whether Green is bowling or not.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Green at 3 seemed an awkward fit for me.
Yeah.
But he's a very good cricketer, and he's
very
a very decent batter in his own right, but he looks too high at 3, and that's not to say that people can't change that opinion, but he looks like a very, very good number 6. And at 3, you just, if you're England's seam attack and you nip one of the openers out early, you think, we're a great opportunity here. Whereas when you've got to get through Khawaja and then Labuschagne and, to get to Smith, and then Smith gets so many runs against England, that looks more formidable from a psychological perspective. If you're England, I don't think you mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no Labuschagne.
In Western Australia, we're well versed in Cam Green, so we know how good a player he is. But ultimately, what is his best cricket? I think it's as an all-rounder. I don't think it's as a number 3. He's a very good fast bowler. He's had his back injuries, and I think he's coming back from that now.
Yeah.
But I think if you said what is Cam Green at his best, I think it's going to be batting 5 or 6 and bowling as the sort of fifth fast bowl, a bit like Ben Stokes does.
Yeah. Well, I think Smith at 4, Travis Head at 5, Cam Green at 6.
Oh, what a shock! I tell you, we're enjoying this Ashes conversation, but quietly in the background, we are getting completely entertained by the mastery of Will Basisto's stroke play.
That's a great shot because he's gone wide there, and he's actually, with a very straight swing of the bat, has hit that gun barrel straight down the middle of the fairway, 3 putt from there.
The problem is they've only got 10 runs to win here, and so we're going to be cut short in our discussion. So Carroll into Basisto, and Basisto is now, that was his 50, so 52 off 38 balls, and I think that's 3 sixes, certainly 2 reverse sweeps for 6, and that third one, lovely on drive for 6. Oh, hang on, now it's in the air.
It's going to be
not
1 or 2.
Not quite sure. Not quite to the fielder. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a discussion between Green and Webster. And if Green's not bowling, I think he's going to lose that discussion because they want that number 6 to bowl. So, I think the interesting, there are other factors that I think are not being discussed much that are actually going to influence the Ashes series, or potential to influence the Ashes series quite significantly. One is, how are the English spinners going to operate out here? Because I think they're going to have to bowl quite a lot of overs.
Okay.
So who is your spin attack?
Well, the spin attack is simply Shoaib Bashir, and then one of Root and Bethel, if he plays as a batter, will send a few overs down, but it will be Shoaib Bashir will be England's number 1 spinner.
Yeah.
And that is a big glaring discrepancy, and if you look at Lyon and Bashir, albeit 2 off spinners at very different stages of their careers, and Bashir might end up being a very fine bowler, but at the moment he's not in the same league as Lyon, albeit you could argue that he is the man on the up, and Lyon might be slightly past his best, but at the moment, he's a big factor for Australia.
And that's a single to Viv Paver. So you're watching and listening to University play Wanneroo in the Premier T20 competition. University are batting second and are currently 1 for 92, chasing 99 to win. You're watching the Chatfield live stream, Chatfield Group live stream. James Chatfield from the Chatfield Group is down watching this afternoon, who's a wonderful sponsor of University Cricket, and we're here on a 23-degree day afternoon at James Oval as Will Bazisto plays another signature reverse sweep for 4.
He's getting tired though, Steve, isn't he? Getting tired because he didn't get that one for 6. The last 2 have gone for 6, and very disappointed that one didn't go all the way. But, he's 5 yards short, couple of bounces.
Yeah, and
the whitewash.
And you're listening to Will Stibbs, the Director of Cricket and Head Coach here at University, and Dave Fulton, who's a former University player and Captain of Kent for how many years? At least a decade, I would have thought.
Well, I played at Kent for 15, Captain for 4.
Yeah, right, okay. So, and Dave is out here with Sky Sports for the English Australia Ashes, and has very kindly popped in here this afternoon to talk University cricket and Ashes.
Well, indeed, yeah. It's all gearing up, isn't it? So, look, I think to kind of summarise, because we are going to be cut short very soon, we're 1 hit away.
Yep.
It's going to be a hugely compelling and very competitive series. That's what I would say, and England's best chance for 15 or so years to rest the urn. Of course, we do hold the moral ashes, according to Stuart Broad, having played all the cricket a couple of years ago in England. But, the urn remains with Australia.
Yeah. That is a bit of an ongoing joke out here, the moral victory that you're claiming.
Well, to be fair, if it had not been for the Manchester weather, we might have snuck it. But last time I checked, Ashes were not determined on such things. So, you can't count that. Here we go.
And that is the winning shot. Lovely on drive, lofted on drive by Viv Paver. So the 2 not-out batsmen at the end of the game. Viv Paver on 37 off 28 balls, and Will Bazisto 59 off 41. University Cricket Club have chased down the target of 98 after late in the 11th over, so off 11.5 overs. And that's a comfortable win for University, who now have 2 wins out of their 2 games in this competition. And with 1 more qualifying round, will probably sit atop this qualifying group. With the top 2 teams out of the 4 teams going through to the quarterfinals. But a lovely win for University. And Dave, thanks very much for popping in.
Absolute pleasure.
We look forward to chatting to you over the coming weeks.
Yeah, and have a great rest of the season.
Yeah.
And thanks very much for having me.
Good on you.
Cheers,
thanks, folks. Cheers, mate. Okay, and so we've got 2 minutes to wind up. So I'll thank the sponsors, and as we wind up with the game today, well done to University, a comfortable win over Wanneroo District Cricket Club. Probably the standout performances today in the game were Will Bazisto, 59 off 41 balls, Viv Paver, 37 off 28 balls, but probably the man of the match will be Josh Dallymore, who off his 4 overs took 5 for 12. Should have had his 6, but the 6th wicket was dropped at Gully by Matt O'Keefe, who will no doubt owe Josh Dallymore a beer after the game this afternoon. But look, thanks very much for joining in here this afternoon at James Oval. We've got a big thank you to James Chatfield and the Chatfield Group for sponsoring this broadcast. If you're ever in need for a home loan, he's your man, so pop down and see James or Emil Vandermerver at Chatfield Group and they'll sort you out. Thank you to Holman Group, to Shaw & Partners, who have popped down to this afternoon to say hello, and to our other sponsors, Better Grass and Gardens, Azalea Consulting. Thank you all, Precision Radiology. Thank you all for your sponsorship, and we look forward to having you back at James Oval next year when we do this broadcast again. But thanks. That's all for now from James Oval, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks very much.